Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Bob here, and I've got something a bit different for you today. I quite often remind myself that OBS can kind of record any window, and I think to myself that'd be quite interesting to do a different video using that. But then I forget and don't do it. So I thought I would start doing it today. This is the Pantheon page. Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, and I thought what I would do is do some videos looking at classes, just reading some of the descriptions. They've got quite a lot of spells and abilities listed now, so I thought it'd be a good time to look at them and see what we think, really. And considering I play Shaman quite a lot in EverQuest, it'll be quite interesting excuse me, to compare. So here we go. Shaman. So race is available. Interestingly, the interesting one is a human. Actually, I always thought that Shaman in EverQuest would be quite good if they could have been human. I would have quite liked that combination. I guess they kind of chose the barbarian as the humanoidy good kind of shaman thing. Kind of makes sense, but I could never really understand why humans couldn't be either. Yeah, so that'd be quite interesting. I'm still probably looking at the ogre, but really we'll have to see on that one, I think. But possibly human. Maybe both. Who knows? Anyway, let's get right into it. Shaman. I think this is the Archai. This race that they're showing here. I'm not sure I'll play one of those. I'm not particularly keen. Anyway, so Shaman, the Shaman. It is rumoured that shamans live in every age at once. It is a second sight, allowing them to sense the threads of energy woven through terminus past. It is this unique gift that allows shamans to discern the ancestry of friend or foe, wielding this knowledge in the form of powerful boons or frightful banes. I guess we'll get to those further down. And this is quite interesting. Shaman gains something called vision, which seems seems pretty good. It seems to be that as you perform healing on yourself or your allies, you accumulate vision. And the more vision you've got, the quicker your spells cast, which is quite interesting. Armor available, cloth leather, light mail. That's quite nice. Very EverQuesty, I think. I always like the chain mail looks in game. So nothing to see here. Very EverQuesty. You've got one-handed piercing as well. So I guess we're going to get some spears in some way. So featured attributes. Let's have a look at these. There seems to be featured attributes healing offensive, so it seems to be split into groups. Featured abilities. Seconds. Okay, chase the wind looks like a movement buff for Y seconds. That's interesting. So it looks like it might be a short-term movement buff. A passive ability, keeper of the elemental mysteries. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so your healing gains a bonus for each elemental skill you hold on an active target. So maybe chuck a couple of dots around and that increases your healing bonus. That seems quite interesting. Spirit companion, of course. You've got like a wolf cover a bear this time, which is pretty interesting. Companions will stay by your side and will not interact with your enemies or the environment in any way. At level 10, the shaman will lead their spirit companion for a rite of passage. That's interesting. Turning it into an adult. So when you turn into an adult, it becomes commandable. It also grows in strength as you do. That's interesting. I do wonder in games sometimes when they sat down and thought about giving the shaman the pet and how they were going to design it. It's because in EverQuest, the shaman don't get their pet until later on in comparison to other pet classes. But I wonder what the decision was to wait until level 10. So essentially, it's just just looks good till level 10. Maybe they thought it would unbalance the power of the shaman if you got it from level 1. To be honest with you, I'm assuming level 10 is quite easy to reach. I'm not quite sure, what the issue would have been, but that's interesting. I quite like sounds a rite of passage thing. That sounds pretty good. So part the veil. Life. So they get a resurrection. Shaman get a resurrection spell. Resurrection sickness. Not quite sure what that is yet. Can't use it in combat. If you have Age Walker's gift, which is over here, Upon death, you enter an ethereal state for exturation. Okay. Also, you may interact with your physical corpse. Okay. Maybe I've jumped ahead there. Using this ability while... Okay, so you've got Resurrection, but when you've got Age Walker's Gift on, you restore them with full health and mana, and no resurrection sickness, and it's usable in combat. Okay, that's good. When you've Age Walker's Gift for yourself, it just looks like a spirit form. Yeah, spirit form when you die for a certain period of time. While you're in this state, you can drag your corpse. When this ends, your defensive target will regain... Okay. That's interesting. So, when you die, it's kind of like a corpse recovery for yourself. You can't use it on other people. It says something about defensive target. So maybe if you've got a target defensive target selected, when this effect ends, they gain a portion of the health. That's interesting. Grip of the Crag's got to be a root, is it? Oh no. Oh, it's strength stamina buff. It's quite nice that the buffs are there's two in one spell rather than individual one. Mark of the Fireclaw. Resistant spell, so increasing fire and nature resistance. Okay. Interlocking Stones is an armor class buff. Okay. Cleansing Flame. Poison or disease. Poison or disease cure. Primordial Bonds. Your healing abilities will also heal you for I say you get nice passive ability, so when you heal someone you also get some of the effect. Oh, nice. Another passive. Isn't all passives, are they? No. Oh, okay. Health and mana regeneration bonus. Oh, does not slow one in combat. That's nice. Age Walker's Gift we've done. Primal Fury. Fills your ally with Primal Fury, increasing their critical strike. Okay, so this increases their critical strike chance of physical and magical abilities. While active, every successful critical strike will further increase their critical strike chance. Wow, awesome. Reptilian Veil. Poison and disease resistance. Okay. Wind Boon. Attack speed buff. Adept's Fury. Increasing your wisdom. Oh, wisdom buff. Okay. I quite like I quite like the names. Okay, and I quite like some of the crossovers with some of the spells, but so far it does kind of feel like an EverQuest Shaman, which is fine. You know, when you look at the game and what the guys are trying to achieve, it's very EverQuest-y. I just feel that more could have been done to make the game feel, just from a flavour point of view, just less like EverQuest. Obviously this is just based on this one class so far. Like for example, the resurrection spell for the shaman. I like the idea that there's a different effect if you've got this passive ability. But to be perfectly honest with you, they could have done so much more with this. I think. I remember thinking about it some time ago, and I was thinking that a shaman resurrection spell could have had something to, because shamans are all about spirits and ancestry, and you know, the sort of spirits of your dead ancestors, that kind of thing. And I just thought maybe you could have chosen an ancestor from a list, you know, from a selection or something, and or when you resurrect someone, maybe the feeling of the resurrection could be that they were being resurrected for a short period of time, but they were being resurrected rather than it being just a straight resurrection and crossing over and stepping on cleric's toes. It could have been a temporary resurrection. You know, maybe something to do with the person's resurrected as a previous ancestor. You know, so maybe you're I don't know. I don't know. Just from a flavour point of view, I feel that more could have been done. Walk the Ages. Now this is really nice. This is really nice. So you cast this spell somewhere in a zone, and wherever you are in that zone, when you cast the spell, when you activate the skill or cast a spell again, you return to that location. That's really nice. I can see that having a lot of uses. That's super spell. That's brilliant. I like that. That's what we're after. Okay, healing, Mantle of Mist, Water Moon. Okay, so healing over time. Okay, that's fine. Hand of Ivalu, Primal Oath, Water, amplifies a Water Moon. Okay, so you put Mantle of Mist on, then you cast this on them, and it gives them a more direct heal, plus it heals group members as well. Cool. Okay, Hurry the Past. All healing over time abilities on new group members with finish iterations. Oh, that's nice. So now we're getting into stuff that feels quite nice now and different. So whack some Mantle of Mists on people, and then just as it's going to run out, the last tick, you cast Hurry the Past. Actually, no. Let's think about this. No, cast Mantle of Mist, then cast Hurry the Past straight after, because they'll get a big heal, and the heal over time is then refreshed. So you get a heal, then you get the heal over time. That's nice. Waterburn, Gifted Rainland. You send for a rush of. Oh wow, heal over time. Area effect, group spell. Wow. And if you've got Mantle of Mist on already, this critically heals. Or you could cast Gift of Rainlands on your whole group. And this looks like it's a group. This looks like it's group wide as well. So you cast Gift of Rains, then you cast Hurry the Past immediately. They get a big heal, then they get the heal over time. Wow. Ancestral Boon. You open an ancestral gateway around a member of your group. Able to move. Okay, so you cast this on your group. You cast this on a member of your group. That group member takes no damage but can't move. Then when the gateway closes, the damage is dispersed evenly amongst your group. That's nice. There's some nice. I'm really feeling really excited about the Shaman now. There's some nice tactics here with the healing. I love the healing. Then that's really good. Let's check out the offensive stuff. Shackle of the Dust Eater. Okay, so strength, stamina debuff plus their combat resource regeneration is slowed. Animus Bane, Sting of the Scorpion, sounds like a dot. Yeah, nature-based dot. Choking first. Nature-based dot plus they're more vulnerable to poison and disease attacks. This one makes them more vulnerable to nature-based attacks. Okay. Reef of Coals. Okay, so lots of different damage over dots. The fire dot. We never had that in EverQuest. Weathering, reducing armor class. Wasn't really something that was used in EverQuest particularly. Again, a lot of games do use it though. It'd be quite interesting. Headwinds reduces their aggro and assist radius. That'd be quite nice for pulling, I guess. That's really nice. Lots of. Shaman's got lots of utility, which is really good. And some of the utility, which I like, is that some of it feels a bit old. It feels a bit old EverQuest enchantery, but at the same time, when you read the descriptions, it kind of makes sense. You know, whereas some people will go, oh, for God's sake, only enchanters should have that. But no, they shan't. Amplifies an Animus Bane. Okay. Amplifies an Animus Bane. Well, the only one of those is the Sting of the Scorpion. Okay. Okay, so a Bane that drenches all enemies in the target area with viscous... It's not vicious, is it? Vicious moisture. So this slows their movement speed and disrupts their health regeneration. And they become wet. So I guess there's a reason why they would become wet. Scorch Fog. Here we go. So Scorch Fog interacts with Reef of Coals, I guess. Amplifies that. Oh, so you put that on, and then this then further it obscures their vision and slows their attack speed. Makes immediate attacks more likely to land as glancing blow. Okay, so you can have the old glancing blow, critical hit, that kind of thing, I guess, as well in the game. Well, I have to say that initially, apart from a couple, I was feeling a bit disappointed, but the healing strategies, I like the way the healing is working. No direct damage from the Shaman. It's all dots, but that's fine. Yeah, be interesting. What I'm kind of hoping is that there's... I mean, you know, when you watch the streams and stuff, they talk about, you know, it's group orientated, but people can solo. I hope that some classes like the Shaman, hopefully, and whatever, have got, you know, a reasonable opportunity to solo. The only thing I'm not sure about is there doesn't seem to be a route. No. So it doesn't appear as though you can root rot. That's a shame. Unless I'm missing it here, I can't see a. I'm not sure if this is all of the spells, but I can't see a. I can't see a route. No, it doesn't seem to be. I'm also looking for a slow. There doesn't seem to be a slow. Maybe I've missed it again. Scorch Fog will slow their attack speed. Yeah. So the Shaman doesn't have an obvious like one cast slow. Attack speed slow. That's interesting. I'm assuming you can't use this on its own. You have to have a Fire Bane first, and then this amplifies it. That's interesting. I haven't missed anything there, have I? So you can't root rot, but you could certainly pet plus rot, or maybe maybe sort of rot plus walk the ages, for a bit of maybe kiting around. Maybe it looks like them. Yeah, I'm not sure what the other classes have got. If the other classes have a route, I guess we'll get to that when we look at the other classes. But yeah, maybe they're trying to remove route. Right, I don't know. I hope not, because that seemed to be like a fair way of leveling. It was quite slow, but it was very doable. But I can't. It's a shame I can't see any. I know I was moaning earlier about everything feeling like EverQuest, but there's no obvious slow. Attack slow. There's a couple of spells that seem to do it, so I guess that would work. Oh no, here we go. No, that's increasing attack speed. Okay, so it doesn't look like we have a one-shot slow. There's no insects line, which is fine, you know. Anyway, that's it, guys. I've waffled on enough. This has been the Shaman, and I find it quite interesting, actually. I mean, it's basically... I quite like the fact that we've got some aggro and assist radius reduction. Everything else on the offense abilities basically seems to be dots or you know, changing dot options. Removing the armour is quite interesting. It'd be interesting to see how effective that is. Quite often these things are just not very effective, and it's one of those spells where it's not, no one uses it. The healing I really like. I like some of the crossovers and some of the tactics. I like Walk the Ages. That would be a great spell from a tactics point of view. We do have a attack speed buff though, but no slow. Anyway, that's it. I'll probably do Enchanter next. But I hope this is an interesting video, and you've enjoyed it. Interesting to see how my beloved Shaman is going to work out. Quite excited. Fingers crossed. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.